People of Sanctuary, look left. Back to me. Look right. Now back to me. Sadly, none of you are Nephilim like me. But maybe if you had a piece of the World Stone, you could be as powerful as me. Look down. Look up. Where are you? You're in adultery oasis with Chaldeum's richest people living the life of luxury. What's that over there? A pack of spinners? Boom. No, it's a bunch of beach umbrellas to beat the heat. Look again. It's all cool and decorcade, making this a once-in-a-lifetime party, throwing down heroic beats and an epic rap battle for your entertainment. Anything is possible if you're a Nephilim like me. Grab your piece of the World Stone. I'm on Princess Lillian.
I like it. I have to say I like it. But who is Deckard Cain having an epic rap battle with?
Zoltan Cool.
Zoltan Cool. Did I miss that? Did I just have a micro blackout there?
I may have talked a little bit quickly through that part to maintain the voice, but who knows?
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible at this point. But yes, here we are. Just a month, a month delayed thereabouts, or I guess 2 weeks delayed. It's been a month since the last episode. Things have been relatively crazy. If you haven't been following the updates on Twitter and what have you, yeah, sadly, life has kind of gotten in the way of the when episode 168 was supposed to air a couple weeks ago. I wanted to try and do something offline, but then didn't even have the time to do that. And then, of course, we're recording here on Sunday, July 28th, as opposed to the last Wednesday on the 24th. So for those that actually have managed to go through and show up here on the stream, thank you for going through and showing up. And for the rest of you over on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, what have you, I'll try and get this one up as fast as possible. Though you're listening to this on the iTunes or Stitcher, so it's already happened. So that's yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. No, I don't. But yeah. So this episode is mostly brought to you by Dredscythe. So it's episode 168, a special treat. I'm kind of the co-host in this one, and so we've got the patch 2.6.6 PTR. And I don't know how the news and stuff of that factors into these things. Do we have? Can we cover the news? Do we have a chance to cover the news? Where does this fit in?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely go over that briefly.
Oh sure, all right.
I mean the patch isn't that big, but for what it does, it's like micro targeting.
Mm-hmm.
I had a funny joke there, but I'm restraining myself.
Okay. All right. Well,
let's just say the sleeplessness on my part is beginning to be held in check again. Like random funny moments aren't happening as much, which makes me sad. But
yep.
Continue on with the patch notes.
All right, will do. So with the patch 2.6.6 PTR, this one is a little bit different from the last couple of patches that we've had. Namely, we've got some quality of life and little tweaks and buffs that aren't targeted towards the top end. Maybe one or two, but not really. It's mostly just little things to go and help out. Torment 16, give people some other things that they can do to just do some weird farming builds and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The season itself is going to be the season of the Triune, and to kind of play in with that name is that whenever you hit an enemy, you have a chance at spawning one of 3 circles, hence the Triune. You can get the 100% damage bonus. There is the 50% resource cost reduction, and then also the cooldown reduction circle, which is pretty interesting. I think that one is that seasonal buff in and of itself is going to help out with not just solo pushing, dependingly. Some builds is going to benefit more than others, and I do wonder if that will have any effect over at the top end, just anything that is more heavily reliant on cooldown reduction. because there's some that they don't care about cooldowns, or it's like static, like item-based cooldowns, and so the cooldown reduction has no effect on it whatsoever for like the timing windows. And a lot of the top end builds really don't care about resource cost reduction at all. So those are kind of two. Resource cost reduction, as far as the top end, I don't think will really come into play too much. That won't affect a lot. But the cooldown reduction, I think, will have some effects and could change what builds are going to be the top ones. And then, of course, like just stand in this circle and we'll double your damage. That one is going to be good. And from what it seems like in group play, each player can spawn their own circle, I believe.
I haven't actually had a chance to be on the PTR, and every time I watch someone, they're all doing solo testing, so I can't confirm the group play, but I've heard similar things to that. But again, I can't be 100% sure.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those ones where it's going to be, it's very interesting. And this one is not a pre-existing buff, or item or set bonus, or community event that's ever existed in the game before. So this one is all new, developed from the ground up, which is, of course, an awesome kind of showing of things to come, that they are going to be developing like new twists. It's not, a lot of people were going through and saying like, oh, maybe it's going to be the season of Endless Walk, because that's another set bonus that they could do that would easily apply to everybody. I called that for when we learned what the theme was for season 17 within like 5 minutes on Twitter, and I like, season 18 is going to be the season of the Traveler's Pledge and a Compass, and they're going to dub it the season of the Wanderer. Why? Because it just works. And I was like, and when I heard this theme, I was like, part of me is kind of upset I can't go on Twitter and do that, but you know what? The bigger part of me is happy that I was wrong. And I guess just for a tidbit of more information, it seems like the circles, they last anywhere between 7 and 8 seconds each. They start working from level 1. And it seems like the practical usefulness is going to be definitely during your leveling, especially if you're going to be doing solo or solo self-found. And as well as in like your early grinding for your 6 pieces. But once you get like, especially like for instance, if you're a demon hunter and you get your multi-shot going, you move too fast, you're not going to take advantage.
Yeah, like the cost benefit of standing in a circle versus just move. Yeah, is same thing. Be lost.
Yeah, same thing with like rat runs. Anything that you're just like speeding through. This isn't the type of thing. This is going to be a buff that more or less only applies that when you're pushing, that high end, those high end rift clears. Or
so it's kind of like an inverse bell curve. Like it's really useful in the beginning, and it's gonna be really useful even though it is RNG. Like which one you get at the higher end of the pushing, just to be able to get that much more like power in. And each circle is the same size as an Oculus ring, so for just judgment, but they are all different colors and they all have unique buff icons. So you should be relatively easy to figure out which one it is, and if you're actually standing in it properly with all the ground firework mess effects going on screen.
Yeah. That of course is the big seasonal change itself, but we do have some some little item tweaks. They're going through and of course taking some of the items that have not yet been given in legendary power and adding them on, so they're fully continuing to round out like that whole base, and they've gotten creative with some of these. The Flavor of Time, which I think is probably like one of the big winners coming from this patch, is pylon effects last twice as long. Not Shrine, pylon. That means greater rifts, 1 minute conduit, 1 minute power, 2 minute speed. It's gonna be crazy. I think it already is crazy from what some people have been going through and doing, and that is just gonna be like that's like the clear winner, and it's gonna be one of those things that will help push even more people. I think we just had like a world first 3-man 150 clear last week or the week before. I think it was just last week.
I think so.
Yeah, and so we're going to continue to see more of the 4-man groups hit 150. We're going to see the 3-man groups 150s become a little bit more common. And who knows, with the way that these buffs might end up turning out, with like Flavor of Time and some of the other little tweaks that some of these items might give, we could even see a 2-man 150.
Yeah, especially with LON still being a thing, but I'll be touched on in a little bit later.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got, just they have a whole bunch of things that they've done, like little tweaks for like items, like Echoing Fury. You get a attack speed bonus whenever you kill an enemy. The other one is Squirt's Necklace. So that way, whenever you don't take damage, your damage is increased by 100%, but the next time you take damage, it's increased by 50%. Which seems like a really big trade-off, but like a class for, like, say, a Necromancer, like, you're already getting one shot, so it doesn't matter if I take 50% extra damage. One shot is still one shot. So it's just...
Your paper, what's the difference of being wet paper?
Yeah, exactly. So there's some classes that could take a little bit of benefit of that kind of play the glass cannons. The Necro, though, kind of has a lot of its jewelry slots are all kind of mandatory for its how they function and such, whether it's like now my mind is just drawing a blank, like a John Stone for just the extra damage on Corpse Lance, or the one that doubles the duration of Simulacrum. I forget what it's called. Not Wisdom of the Column. Dang it. I've like only been playing Necromancer lately. I should know this. But
then again, it's like, if you look at something like Flavor of Time or even Squirt's Necklace, it's like, all right, but in the case of Flavor of Time, well, if you get lucky and get a power off the bat, well, you doubled your power. Yeah. Does that actually technically equal more?
Yeah,
and if it gets you to like the Conduit Pylon, and that's twice as long, and then it gets you to the attack speed for the RG, it's like, that could make up for it.
Oh yeah, and of course, the long-awaited return of Mortix Brace.
And I love the developer note. Yeah,
it's one of those ones where it had like the last-minute removal, and it's been. I think this was going even back to when like Leviathan was still on the show. We were talking like they could add Mortix Brace back into the game at this point because it doesn't matter. And I believe there was, since we had the last episode, there was a really big kind of fan group that was headed up by on the forums. He goes by Free. Has a laundry list of issues for the Barbarian class, because even though you see a lot of Barbarians like as a support Barbarian in some high-end clears, they themselves as solo clears, or even their viable options for T16 clears and such, they have a lot of issues that you really only know if you're playing a Barbarian. The Mortix Brace is like a nice addition, but with the power level that everything else is at, it doesn't really give them too much. And so it's like a nice little nod, but from what I've been seeing, doesn't push things forward too much.
Yeah, I mean, but like, here's the item that we took away, here's the back. I mean, it's still it's a win no matter what.
Oh yeah. Of course, then you mentioned earlier we've got the new legendary gem, the Legacy of Dreams, which is the it gives the the Legacy of Nightmares bonus as a gem. And so now you can either use the rings, or you can start leveling up that gem in order to get the appropriate power out of it to go through and match it.
And it's weird because when people ask about the gem, it's like, well, it's the Legacy of Nightmare set, but no, you can't wear the rings and that at the same time, because the gem states no set bonuses can be equipped. So, so you get the rings. So it's actually, you get it's not just the Legacy of Nightmares buff, but it's the Legacy of Nightmares buff per the season 17 theme. And it's actually better because it actually works with legendary items,
not just ancients. So you can
just agents.
Yep. So you can just have any legendary that you have equipped. It's giving you a little bit of a damage bonus there.
which I think was a huge thing from because they didn't have to do that. I mean, they just could have made it straight 7.50% and then done it from there with the ranks, but they chose to add in that. So no longer do you have to focus on just ancient versions of good gear. Excuse me.
Yep. So it might not give you like that full damage bonus, but just having the legendary will give you a little bit of an extra boost.
Yeah, and more importantly, you don't have to sacrifice a really good legendary for a really crappy ancient or primal. As far as the primaries and secondaries go, you can actually keep that really good legendary until you find that really good, or if not better, ancient or primal, and you're not really as penalized as much for it. Yep, and the only real loss is that it takes up that third gem slot, which for being able to put in 2 rings, especially one of them's like a convention, or in the case of necromancers where the rings are actually more powerful.
Yeah, because that was one of the things.
It's a much better trade-off.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to say. Like, necromancers, because the majority of the power of the class is set in the ring slots, that the Season of Nightmares was like just tremendous for playing a necro, because you can't play a Legacy of Nightmares necromancer class and be effective, period. This gym will unlock it. But do you know what the scaling is? Because I haven't had too much of a chance to look at the PTR and kind of just browsing Reddit a little bit.
The scaling is exactly it's 3.75 per rank.
Okay.
So when you get to the max height, you have 375% for a legendary, or the standard 750 for a ancient or primal, and the 2% doubles the 4. So it's exactly like the LON set.
Yeah. So once you get it to level 99, it completely matches the Lond. And with being able to get gem to level 99, the Greater Rift 100 is relatively easy and doable for pretty much any class at this point. If you want to push through and you want to do that, you have the capabilities to do it. It's not out of the norm for anybody to be able to push a GR 100 nowadays. I mean, even just pushing, it will be a pain, but even just pushing like 95s, you can at least get it close,
Yeah, I mean, and like part of me wants to say, well, it's even great for early GR pushing, because if you get lucky with getting like the right legendary items, you can actually maybe forego the class sets and use this gem with some early leveling to maybe do your early GRs. But then again, the class sets really are powerful, so it's kind of like a very touch and go, play by ear type deal.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, like you said, 99 is really nothing to get leveled up to.
And then now the last big thing is they're also doing some adjustments to crafted sets. Sages now has a belt added, so Necros can actually have a Sage build that they can do. Hadrig automatically learns it when you get to rank 12, so you can automatically start off crafting Sage's Journey and starting your Death Breath farming. You don't have to worry about will I get lucky enough to find the pattern? Is that going to be the last pattern that I learn? 10 of the collectors, odious collectors, or 3 full sets of bounties before I manage to get those plans. And then just some other like little tweaks for some of like the 2 and 3 piece sets, like the Captain Crimsons, Ogchilds. I mean Og guilds. Will always be Ogchilds in my heart. Just like some little tweaks and such. I think like that Captain Crimson's is going to be really interesting, where you have like a small like little damage dealt and damage reduction based on your cooldown and resource cost reductions. Could be a little added in bonus with, say, a Ring of Royal Grandeur that I'm not sure if I've seen any people like testing around with it too much. Probably isn't going to find its way really into the higher end, like kind of like the GR 150s area, but that could be something just fun for like little solo clears, solo pushes,
or even for T16 or bounty runs.
Yeah.
I mean that may only you may only need that.
And then the other interesting one was Kane's Destiny, where now is a Sage's set for Greater Rift Greater Rift Keystones. So now you can farm keys even more efficiently, because while you have the 3-piece set bonus for Kane's Destiny, you have a 25% chance at getting 1 extra key. So roughly every 4 rifts that you're going to do, you're going to get 1 extra keystone out of it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's of course the big news that we've had over the last couple of weeks is that we've got that new PTR to go through, test out. I do hope to have this episode up sooner rather than later. They did say it should be about 1 week, so it should be probably it's going to be pushed to like Friday or so. We will have the PTR up. So I hope to see a lot of things get tested, a lot of things for people to try out and see if anything is broken. I've not seen anybody test or anyone say anything about the Executioner, which is its new legendary power was that if the enemy has less than 5 to 10% health, they just are instantly slain. If that they fix that with, say, the Grim Reaper for the Demon Hunters. So that way it's spreading the damage out to everybody for the ridiculous amounts and killing everything.
And actually, I just linked you in Discord if you want to swap back that screen just real quickly.
Oh.
It was like a random blue post done by Brandy, and it's like weird how like these like there was like the Reddit post that had like no upvotes or downvotes really, but was let everyone know that the PTR was coming soon. I was like, oh, like in this random post that like nobody saw. This was an interesting tidbit as well. And as you're getting that up, as you read, it basically was now she's going in the response to this was basically a post about someone's the state of Diablo 3 and how they're surprised at still being supported, but their personal opinions on the matter. And as you can see on screen, as the person she's quoting says, like, what I'm trying to communicate is I don't know Blizzard's plan for Diablo 3. And she responds with, I'm in the process of a blog that explains more about this. I don't have a release date for that, but it's coming. We want to be clear and transparent about Diablo 3's future. It just takes a lot of time and coordination for communication on that level to happen. For now, I hope you enjoy the PTR and give us a lot of feedback on what we have so we can make patch 2.6.6 the best we possibly can. Now, this doesn't really seem like a big bombshell kind of a blue post, but when you really think about it, this is in relationship to the future of Diablo 3 and how we're reviewing it and how we're going to possibly support it and what's the plan for it going in the future. And just the mere fact that it's being thought about and communicated. I mean, we are 3 months almost exactly from BlizzCon, but it just lends itself to everything else going on. Like, if they're coming up for a roadmap for supporting Diablo 3, and it's something that's going to come in the future, you have to think they're doing that because something else may take its place as being the main game of the franchise.
Oh, well, I mean, no one should be surprised by that one. Yeah, we should all go through and know, especially like, last year, Team 3, the Diablo team, is not working as of last year. They are no longer working on Diablo 3. They're working on Diablo Next, and Classic Games has taken over for Diablo 3. So like we already know that ship has went through and is docked. Your princess is in another castle. To put it into a better analogy. But yeah, we'll be interested in seeing, what it is that necessarily they do, what their plans are for the future of Diablo 3. But just like Diablo 2, it would get like an update every couple of years. Like, and as the years went on, those patches and such, got smaller and smaller, shorter and shorter as they had less time and resources to devote to it. Though it almost seems to be the opposite with Diablo 3 right now, where it kind of, we got we're getting more content now than we did, like say like the previous year, and
definitely
is about on par with the stuff that we got the year before that. I want to say, because we got, of course, we got the Necromancer, and then like the big 2.6.1 rebalancing on everything. We've got a couple of rebalances now.
I mean, I would argue we're getting more content than we did then, because it was Necromancer, Challenge Rifts, and the crafting tab. But the crafting tab was just inventory management. I mean, let's be real. And CRs, while they're useful, I mean, they pretty much got pushed to the season start importance, and that's about it.
And it helps me from doing even fewer bounties.
Exactly. So, I mean, when you look at seasonal themes, just in general, that's already more on top of set changes, on top of new legendary powers, on top of the new legendary gem. I mean, we've probably gotten more content now than we probably had the last 3 years. Reaper Souls is probably a better estimate, I would say.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yes.
But of course we will have bigger and brighter things, to discuss and worry about, I believe, come BlizzCon. Though it's also one of those ones where we've been like complete total media silence, since BlizzCon. Though I think that is just because of everyone's overall reaction to Immortal. And why they haven't been covering anything. They know this isn't what people were expecting, and we're probably not going to hear a lot about that until they announce something else to go alongside it. And then once that happens, we'll probably see them, talking about everything hand in hand, if we don't have a release date for Immortal by then.
Yeah, it's a little scary because, as we've talked about, and as I've talked about with a few others in the community, as soon as they announced that they weren't going to be at Gamescom, it's like, okay, so it's just BlizzCon.
Yep.
Oh crap! Are they really putting all their eggs in one basket? I mean, just in general with all their games, but especially with Diablo,
yep.
Are they really gonna try to talk about, hopefully for their own sanity, okay, Diablo 4 and Immortal?
I have this great theory that they went through from last year's BlizzCon, and the majority of the Diablo community was disappointed with only getting Diablo Immortal and nothing else on top of that. So what if we go into this year's BlizzCon? They talk a little bit about Diablo Immortal, and then they go through and they announce like a new Diablo comic book. They announced the Diablo Netflix series, and they announced Diablo 4 and a Diablo 2 remaster. What if they're like, we're sorry, here's everything. Yeah, we're gonna give you like literally like everything that you've ever wanted. Here, boom. Yeah. And so we're making it up to you now. Take everything.
And Reddit will still be pissed.
Reddit is Reddit.
But it's like, here's everything that was rumored and or talked about and or planned last year that was axed, canceled, shifted. Here you go. Have fun.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the whole community just like spasm, like not knowing what to do.
Yeah, because like last year I was the negative Nancy. I was the one that said like there's no chance, no hype, no chance at Diablo 4. I also said there's no chance of a Diablo Immortal game or Diablo mobile game, and we'll see how that went. But this year, I really feel this year is the year. This is the one where it pays off to be a Diablo fan. It really does.
I hope so.
Gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith in the devil.
I'm gonna remake the hype train with like one side being like all Diablo, the other side looking like a suspiciously Activision bullet train, and they're just gonna be headed towards each other. And there's gonna be a phrase at the bottom says, "Who's gonna win?"
just put Bobby Kotick's eyes in the front of the train, like not his face, just the eyes.
That was already planned.
Yeah.
Some way or fashion.
Yep. Somewhere out there in the ether, Flux approves. But yeah, I mean, there obviously there have been some other like little stuff. There's of course there's the new there's the new Diablo forums, that have come out. If you go to the official forums, they have a whole new structure with that system. Basically, they were like one of the last ones to get updated to the new structure to match, like I think like the Overwatch forums and the World of Warcraft forums, so you can post and get reputation, and eventually you'll be able to post links and other stuff like that, and also just your ability to like take quick looks and see like different replies and such within the threads themselves have become a little bit easier to manage. More modern forum software.
The blue tracker is a lot better.
Yeah.
Like I was able to find that post within like 10 seconds because like, okay, blue tracker, scroll, there it is.
Yep. There was San Diego Comic-Con, which came and went, and you were talking about them putting all of their eggs into one basket. I was honestly expecting them to acknowledge the Diablo Netflix show, but that didn't happen. But I've been harking on this one for a while now on the episode, as well as over on Diablo fans. But like Netflix now has like 6 video game properties in development that are public and open. And I do want to mention that in the last episode, I mentioned that The Witcher was one of the video game adaptations that they were working on, but that is actually incorrect. I do want to give credit, so let me pull this up on YouTube real quick, because someone went through and pointed out that it is not an adaptation of the video game of The Witcher, that it is more of an adaptation from the novels themselves. And so that was Kyle L on YouTube that went through and pointed that out. So thank you for that, and little add-in addendum correction from the previous episode. So, but they still have like Cuphead, a new season of Castlevania. There's a Devil May Cry. I think there was talks of a Resident Evil that they were going through and working on. There's a bunch of things that they've got working on video game wise.
They're just gonna triple down on those dirty millennials that are killing Applebee's and not buying diamonds, and be like, wait, we're going to turn all your old school games into TV shows. Do you approve? And we're like, yes, eating popcorn, yes, all of it. We'll binge it all.
Wait, a company, adapting its marketing and content schedules to match that of the demographic of the people that are consuming it, as opposed to just blaming millennials for their inability with which to evolve their business?
You may awaken Disney. They may buy them out.
Which of course, then that's another thing. Is one of the Activision shareholders has gone through and who's also they own shares in Activision Blizzard. They own shares in Disney, and they're trying to call Disney to put in a bid to buy Activision.
And you know what the funny thing is? This feels like deja vu, because I feel like 3 or 4 years ago this was also said. Like, this doesn't feel like it was the first time it was ever suggested.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not even the first time it was ever suggested. This has just been, like, the history of Blizzard. Like, when they were Silicon and Synapse, they were owned by, what was it, Davidson and Associates? Just like an investment firm. And then they sold them to Vivendi. And then Vivendi sold Blizzard to Activision as part of a deal to buy Activision. And so it had the merger of the Activision Blizzard, so it would just be one other thing to then sell the company to somebody else.
Yeah. Corporate mergers and transfers. Such a lovely business.
Yeah, no, it really is. And that's one of those, like, when people were going through and talking, like, Bungie bought its independence from Activision Blizzard. That really can't happen with Blizzard. They were never independent to begin with, and it's just there's no like Bungie's agreement with Activision Blizzard was only a 10-year agreement in the first place, and I'm sure that they're, in order to go through and get out of the agreement and keep their property, there's some sort of footnote or clause in there that after 5 years we have the option to buy out our independence and all this other types of stuff. There is no such thing in that nature for Blizzard. I'm sure that they could try to do it, but then Activision Blizzard would hold all the IPs. So Warcraft, Starcraft, Diablo, all that would then, start being developed by Treyarch, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's kind of the abridged version of all of the news and things that have happened lately. And
I think so.
Yeah. So I guess, are you ready?
Sure. Let me make sure. Let me get you the video link. Maybe copy. All right. Now switch over to the screen so everyone can see what it looks like right from the get-go.
Okay.
Now, for those watching at home,
he's gonna send me a Pornhub link to click on.
Don't you know it? Spice up this show.
So,
No. Basically, long story short, I've been working the last couple months for a gift for Neinball. The video pretty much explains it all. And as I said, Neinball, in the video will kind of tell you, open up part 1, open up part 2, and there'll be like 4-second musical interludes that you can like pause, open, go, oh my god, Dread, I love you, and then start the video again, and then part 2, and then ooh, ah, and then start the video again. Okay?
Okay. All right. Do you want to explain to everybody what exactly is happening, what exactly this is?
It's a good the video. I do a good job in the video. I actually have some sass in the video. I don't know how that happened, but
here you
go.
Sass? Never.
I know.
Gift video 2. What happened to video 1? Why did this open in the wrong window?
That was Brandy's video.
Oh, true.
I know. Timing.
Yeah.
I mean, naming conventions, like, lazy.
Hold on. Trying to get this. Oh my god.
You've seen what it looks like already, and I love it.
Yep. Now I'm trying to get this. It doesn't want to move to the proper tab. So there we go. All right. Okay. Here we are. With the 9. If you wanted to, I am going to go through and say this, because you already said that you're going to give me sass. I'm going to give you sass. If you actually went and looked up Neinball, you would know that the actual Neinball that my name is based off of isn't a striped one.
Whatever. Just started from the beginning. Shut up.
Okay, there we go. I rewinded it 1 whole second, so that way we're at 5 instead of 4. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Okay. Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
I'm not hearing the volume. Is everyone else hearing the volume?
Blood for the blood god! Blood for the blood god! Blood for the blood god!
Is it? Are you guys? Can you hear it?
Oh wait, I have it muted. Sorry. I have the stream muted.
I'm not rewinding it. Just
no, it's okay. It's okay. I have the stream muted. I forgot.
and that clip was special. That was meant for one person and one person only. People weren't supposed to see that.
Too bad. Hello, Neinball. You're here again. This is take number 3, just so you understand playing the home game right now. Yeah, so we're here. Early BlizzCon gift. And yes, this is a BlizzCon gift. My aim is to break you emotionally,
maybe physically. We'll see how this all works out. I know it's kind of a sick, twisted thought, but if it hasn't happened by the end, there's a baseball bat coming with me to BlizzCon itself, and we will rectify that thoroughly.
My knees.
I'll let your mind wander on that one.
Lookout.
Ew. Anyways, so like I said, this is a BlizzCon gift, and this is kind of a weird tradition that I don't know how it started 3 years ago, but it started out with small gifts, then it worked up to full-on community gifts for, last year being Wolf Crier for all his charity work, and putting up with all that stuff that he does, as well as Brandy for just being an awesome community manager and everything, and I believe even now more than any time, we need someone like her on our side, the players. So where does that leave you in all this? Because this wasn't really expected. I mean, well, it was. I mean, I kind of asked you, like, what kind of model you would like, and what colors you would like. But that's as much as you knew. I mean, that's as much information you knew, or Nev knew at the time.
Neve.
God help me. I'm always going to second guess myself saying her name. Anyways, moving along. Segue. Yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you again are kind of broken down by it, and this is multi-part. Yeah, now this is multi-part gift. Yeah. So I mean, I want to say something, but I'm kind of like at a loss for words, because I mean, we've been talking a lot more over the last couple of months, mainly all your work situations, plural, as well as me dealing with the new father and all that kind of fun stuff. But most of all, this was to make sure that through the lulls that every summer brings with the game and work scheduling and everything, that you still felt appreciated, and that this is still all worthwhile doing. Because while you may not have the episodes, I still feel you doing the Westmarch Workshop is still the longest running at a set schedule podcast that we have as a community. I wanted to make sure you still felt like this is all still worthwhile to still doing. So enough more the fundamentals and everything. Open up part 1. Go ahead. Do it now.
Do it. And now I pause. Okay.
Yes.
I guess I should put it on camera. And lighting is terrible. I don't even have my phone or anything to put. Hold on. What can I do? Just a white screen? Is that better for people to go through and see? Now, of course, I can't. I can't see it. But and then the thing that I love the most is the little guardsman, the little baby guardsman sitting at the bottom there. It is beautiful. And I'm going to have to ask how they did the wings, because that is a beautiful... You're going to have to tell me who did it, because I keep hitting the microphone with the wings. This thing has like gnarly little talons there, and I keep catching the mic on it. So sorry for anybody that's listening.
I love the face. When I saw the picture of it when the model was done, I'm like, oh, that's the face only a mother could love. Oh, how cute.
It's beautiful.
All right, so whenever you're ready.
Well, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
And I love the High Fleet Behemoth is like my favorite color scheme. The reds and the blues, and then the Triangle set just sitting there. Okay, here we go. Part 2.
You like it? I hope you like it.
I guess.
You better like it. Like I said before, you picked the model, you picked the colors. So we were 2/3 of the way there. So if you don't like it,
it's my fault.
I'm kidding. No, I bet you like it. I hope you're enjoying it and showing it off on to everyone. please show it off. If you haven't showed it off, please show it off to everyone on
Turn it out the
the
proper
live
way.
stream. And no real big introduction for part 2. Part 2 is a little smaller, but more sentimental value, I guess, if anything else. So go ahead, go. Part 2, go. Hurry.
No, there's
hurry.
no intro on this one.
Go.
I guess we pause again. And I apparently opened this appropriately because I can detect that these are photographs,
Yes.
but they're face down, so I haven't even looked at them yet. I'm scared. I'm scared to flip this around. I don't want to.
Keep the stack together and flip it around.
Okay, so they do have to be in order. So if I take the back one,
it's nicer. It's nicer if you don't see the picture, then just flip the whole stack around and look at it that way.
I kind of want to cry already.
It's not dick pics.
No, okay, so my first thought is it's a picture of Nolan's thumb.
Oh, I should have done that. Oh, that would have been amazing. Oh, fuck.
You should consult me for ideas for gifts for me. So. Okay.
Gift ruined. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Start from scratch.
These are the whole process of going through and putting it together.
And I put a little border around it. It may look a little familiar, even though it's like half the size.
Yep. Did you do this?
Do what? The painting?
The painting?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you can. It's like one of those ones where it's like you can see that like the whole building it. Yep. There we go. Okay. Yeah, building it in the segments.
Mm-hmm. And then like the primer or the first coat, and then all the touch ups.
Yep.
And then the layering and everything.
Oh yeah, it's one of those ones where it's just, and then, hi. Oh.
Roar! The
Beautiful.
last picture. It's like
yeah,
it's like roar! Hi!
Hi, I'm here. Do I now unpause again?
If you're mentally ready, yes.
Okay. Just have to look. There's not. You're not. It's like trying to surprise me with like a part 3 that's hidden in here, right? That is one of those ones where it's like Neve has been hiding this for like the past like I don't know how long has she been hiding it, because I don't know when it got here. Are you muted?
No.
okay.
I'm talking. No, it got there. Both part actually. One part got there a week from yesterday, and then the other part got there last Monday.
Okay. Yeah. And she just went through, and it's like one of those ones where it's like doing the episode tonight, and then she just kind of like hands it to me like 20 minutes before we go through and start setting up the pre-show.
She's a good one keeper. All right, so when you're ready, unpause.
Okay. Love the music.
All right, so part 1 and part 2 are done. Now you're probably going by now, Dred, did you do this? And I'm gonna go, hell no.
I already asked that
I'm
question.
not this talented. Believe me. What? You think I'm somehow a good graphics artist, do websites, articles, have a new kid, and can somehow mystically, magically paint Warhammer figures that well in my spare time without anyone else knowing? No. I'm not that good. I don't know if I even want to be that good. That's like witchcraft right there. So again, we arrive at this question: who painted this? Think about it. Was it someone in the community like Falstack? I know she's doing minifig painting every once in a while. No. I was thinking like, well, this could Randy do it? Does she know anyone? I mean, I know Warhammer's kind of like a thing in Blizzard. I'm like, who could it be? Who could it be? So again, I was like, I was really thinking. I was really thinking because I really love this idea when it came. But I'm like, who's gonna do this? Because if I don't find someone to paint this, the whole gift goes to shit in the toilet really badly. Like the idea just like dies right there. Pew, splash. So I was thinking, again, all this thinking. I know I'm torturing you and everyone and myself, quite frankly, right now with all this thinking. But then I decided I need a piece of gum. So I took a piece of gum. You know, you're on an airplane and everything. Having a piece of gum can help clear your mind, pop your ears. And then I thought, this could work. I think I know the person. This is a real shot in the dark. Yeah. Yeah. And it worked. It did. It was fun. I hope it's fun for you too. Alright. Part 3. Let's go.
Not even death can save you from me.
Hi, my name's Jay Wilson. I painted and put together this little fella. And I
My reaction's a little delayed, but yes.
part of the Diablo community, also known as Neinball. And I had a really good time doing it. I obviously, as you can tell by the table back there, I'm really bad at camera work apparently. I do a lot of Warhammer stuff, and so it was really exciting to be able to do something with somebody who I know has done so much for the Diablo community. It's very exciting to see something you've worked on kind of carried on in such a great way. So, for, Whitney, this is for you. This is your item of the week.
I know, right? Right. Yeah, I did it. Well, I think it's safe to say that I won't be able to really do another BlizzCon gift because how can you double what's already been doubled? I know, cheesy pun. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Hope you enjoy. Bye-bye now.
I'm just glad that my lighting is shit, so that way you can't see me ugly cry. I was trying to mentally prepare myself because when you held up the double spearmint gum, it's like you fucking didn't.
Oh man, I was trying to figure out a way how could I throw in the double pun, but not be so like out there, but still get it, and for you to like see it, and like get you really like wait no Dread no wait no, and then the countdown starts, and like you're totally just mind fucked at that point. Oh, there's a part 4 that you're gonna get tonight or tomorrow. He took a whole bunch of like Instagram worthy shots like he's done before, and he wants to post them to his Instagram account, and he sent them to me, and he's just waiting on when he can safely post them, just in case you're following him and wondering, what's that? I'm like, shh. So I'm gonna send those along, and you know how he said this is your item of the week.
Yeah.
He gave me permission to that was supposed to be in there on purpose, and he gave me permission to clip it out, so now you actually have a bumper too. So yes, here you go. Success.
I just have a Pepsi to toast you back to. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome. Oh man. And then when we meet in BlizzCon, I'll let you oh god, that'll probably be another small ugly cry moment.
Probably. Yeah.
Just in general. but I'll open up the Twitter conversation I had with him. Let's see. When did I start this thing? When did this get sent? Yeah, this whole thing, like the message I sent him that was a shot in the dark, started April 26th.
Oh, wow.
So this has been in the making for a while. So, yeah. So it was like, oh, it's a Warhammer model. Like, oh, who did it? This guy.
Yep. That guy. Which is I can't even. I want to go through and talk about the connections between the development of the Diablo 3 development team and Warhammer and all other stuff. I can't. And the only thing that I can think of to say is, I think Shattered Soulstone is the longest running podcast.
That's all your mind can comprehend right now.
It's like I wanted to say something, when you said it, but I didn't feel it was appropriate at the time. Things were being set up, so I just kept my joke to myself. But I have to let it go before the episode.
Yeah, so no more BlizzCon gifts for me. I would feel bad because like every single one would just suck compared to this one. It's like it's like I'm not doing the best job I could be. Like, what? I have to get Mike Morheim to do something for somebody? It's like, no, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, like it was actually really surreal because like I felt weird like never touching the gift, but at the same time I'm like it was never mine to begin with, and I was just like petrified that like, oh god, this thing's gonna break into 1,000 fucking pieces when it gets shipped, and like all that work and effort is just gonna be lost. And sure as shit, one of the wings did fall off, and you've had to fix it.
Yeah,
but
I think I can tell which one. But I can fix that with some acetone in order to go through and get the frosting off from the super glue.
So it's just a matter of like, it's just like he was Jay. I say Jay like we're like best friends now. Like talked to him for like a month. Like yeah, we're best friends. But no, Jay Wilson was great to work with. He was like, and I tried to like I know Diablo 3 history maybe not the best, but like I'm thinking about this, and he's like, no, it's like, I mean, I just don't talk about it because everything's been said. I mean, there's no real harm. I'm like, and it's like you know what? And for someone like that, you know what? Let's see if we can work something out. So then I suggested the idea, and I wanted to make it to where you got something you really wanted, but something that was fun for him to do.
Yeah.
So that's why there was that little bit back and forth in the beginning, like the model and everything.
A couple different options and such, yeah.
Shipworthy. And then, like once he got going, I'm like, okay, like the model's put together, the base primer's put on, and like, bam, it looked like it was done already. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
and then he had like the coatings and everything done, and he shot me, and like we went back and forth, and then he told me like, okay, a couple more touch-ups, a little bit more detail on the wings, and then I'm done. I'm like, oh shit, I have to get the video done because the model may be done and sent off, and I don't have the video done. It's like go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought you would appreciate, the Neinball, the Jar Jar, and like the lore, the spinning icons, like and everything, the little Warhammer, Blood for the Blood God, just throwing it all in there, mixing it around like a giant cauldron of you ooey gooey sack of shit. Here you go.
You know me too well. Now I'm never gonna use it. It's like I can't put that on a table to play with. That has to sit in a special place. I'm surprised that the wing even broke off in shipping, because I can't tell you. I have a bunch of tyrants, and I've dropped them so many times, and I've not even like the little tiny these little little tiny, like you just see, here's a banana for scale. Like those little nubs that they've like straight on full model, like a 3-foot drop off of a tabletop, falling right on that little piece. I've never had a single one ever like break or bend or anything. Well, yeah. And that's just like one of those things, because in like the back of my mind, I've been wanting to do stuff with the show, with trying to get, like different people, on the show. Something that we've done a little bit in the past, and something that like Leviathan and I had talked about for the longest time, is trying to do like regular special guests, and it's something that I wanted to try and do to be a little bit more special. And I've always, it's like you pick like Jay Wilson out of everybody, and it's just he was one of the people that I've kind of always wanted to reach out to try and see if maybe I can get him on the episode, but I've always just been so like intimidated and scared to do it. And so it's just like, oh god, I'm crying again.
Yeah, oh, believe me, I mean, I think, this was like orders of magnitude more like I wrote this in Word. I grammar and spell checked the fuck out of this and made sure it came off nice and professional as best as it could. And then I sent it off into the ether. But I'm like, I don't know. It looks like he last posted 3 months ago. We'll see what happens. we'll just put it into the void and see if it's meant to be.
Yeah.
But oh god.
I guess now I'm gonna have to get like an Instagram just so I could go through and see all the photos he's gonna post of it.
Yeah. So no, it was definitely a treat, because the only reason why I knew that he did Warhammer was because you had mentioned a couple of times about how Metzen and himself would do duos with their Warhammer armies, and they would cremate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, you know what? And it was partially selfish, because I always felt bad that by the time I was really in the Diablo 3 community and really doing the community work, that he had already exited, and there was never that opportunity to say hi, shake his hand, ask a couple of questions, and then maybe if he was around after the fact, let's buy him a beer of appreciation. Because I even remember back then, I think after the first and second year of Diablo 3, like, it was fucking rough. And he was basically the target of everything. It wasn't how, it basically kind of like, unfortunately, Wyatt's kind of target of all the immortal stuff.
Yeah.
But it like orders of magnitude worse somehow, some way, if you could imagine. And like, just to be like appreciative of someone, like, because okay, yeah, like things may not be perfect, but at least we have it and it can be tweaked and fixed. So this is a case where it's like, it's better to love and lost than to never loved at all. It was like one of those scenarios, and just like never got that like one true like Blizzard regret, I suppose, as far as like the community sake wise. So this was kind of like a spiritual how could you say, making up for that, as far as like communicating, maybe not about Diablo directly, but something inspired and about Diablo community in general.
Yeah.
So that's what this was, and I hope, and I was so happy he did the video the way he did, because all I asked him is like, you've already done more than enough with the model. Like if you could just do a video just holding the model, just introduce yourself and say, hey, Whitney, here's your item of the week, like 10 seconds or more, that'd be perfect. Anything more be gravy. Like I said, you've done more than enough. I'm thankful. And he did that whole thing pretty much of his own volition and everything. And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be fucking awesome. Whitney's gonna die. I'm gonna love it.
Yep. Oh. It's just everything in me to just hold back everything else right now. I'm gonna go cry into a pillow for 30 minutes, like once the episode's over.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. I'm glad you enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm glad the task I set out to do.
Words cannot
reached.
even begin to show my level of appreciation. I'll have to find a way of saying thank you by the time we get to BlizzCon.
Okay. All right. But that's it. No, there's no like mysterious like part 5 like waiting. Like, right now.
God, I hope not. Is he in my closet? Is he just waiting to pop out or something like that? You had Neve like let him in earlier.
No, like I said, Mike Morheim is in the closet. He's gonna pop out with Diablo 4 Collector's Edition.
Uh-huh.
He's been holding on to it hostage this whole time. You're gonna be the first one to pick it. Congratulations.
Oh. I guess I'm supposed to do the outro now.
You can try.
Westmarch Workshop at BlizzPro.com, something every other Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Twitch.tv/BlizzPro. Follow the show at the W Workshop on Twitter. Diablo.BlizzPro.com. Go on to discord.gg/BlizzPro, where like no one ever is. And then you can also follow me on at Neinball Gamer on Twitter, and the once every other year stream at twitch.tv/Neinball. And then of course you can follow Mr. Dredscythe here at You Take Over.
Yes, you can follow me at Dredscythe, and special for this episode going forward, the Scythe and Shield podcast, the podcast I did 4 and change years ago, I have brought back, and Mr. Handsome over on the other screen was the first interview guest, and I decided I'm going to launch that episode tomorrow. So you can find the website at scytheandshield.com. You can find the show at Twitter at Scythe and Shield. You can also find the podcast on YouTube, on Apple, Spotify, and Google Play. God, oh, that was annoying to set up. Quick links are on the website at the bottom, as well as you can email the show at scytheandshield@gmail.com. And unfortunately, I'm not partnered with Discord, so it will be a gobbledygook Discord URL. So just go to the website, click one of the 35 that's a running joke number Discord links, and you can join the Discord. Why join the Discord? Because you can suggest future guests and future guest questions that if I pick them, I will try to give you a shout out if I remember all the fun stuff. So again, episode 2, guest interview number 1 with Handsome over there, Neinball, is going to release at some point tomorrow morning Eastern Standard Time. And episodes will be on an bi-weekly basis unless I actually do too many shows, and then I actually have to do it on a weekly basis. Follow the Twitter, follow the website for all the information. And back off.
All right, and with that, I believe that is going to take us to the end of the episode. And it does appear that I apparently never added in the outro overlay to the duo stream, so I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. Yeah, thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you, Rob, so much. I'm crying again. It's beautiful.
No, you're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.